Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the SynergyPWR People's World Racing Invitational round number 18 at the Mexican Grand Prix for the 4th time. We have managed to finally get all the glitches fixed. We don't have any issues. Touch wood. Please pray to the Lords that we won't have any more glitches. But unfortunate situations meant that certain drivers was running with spectator UI while they're driving, so they weren't able to adjust out of rich mix and so forth. And to top that all off as well, Adrian the 8th, he had an Xbox issue. For some reason he couldn't reconnect any game, any app, anything really. So had a few issues, but we're back here, we're sorted. Adrian is starting from the back of the grid, so that's the only change. Apart from that, everyone else is starting where we left off. I'm tired, Mulan 200 comments, I love Codemasters. I love them so much. I mean, I have a genuine affection to Codemasters. I just can't deal with this anymore. But we're back. We are going to finally race. We're going to get it over and done with. If you fancy watching, feel free to stick around. I won't mind you if you want to give me some company, because I am on my own today. But we are going to be on with this SynergyPWR race number 18. Drivers now beginning their formation lap. As I said, we'll take a quick look at the race director as they start the formation lap. And as you see right there, it will be Owen Better Know, Mike David, and Purple Haze starting on super soft tyres, right? Which is going to be interesting. Owen Better Know also on a set of super soft tyres, as is Sphere Cookie. So it's going to obviously be interesting. And unfortunately for this situation, Adrian, starting right at the back of the grid, will be on super soft tyres after what was a qualification of P4. Everyone else starting on the correct choice of tyre. It's going to be interesting, so it's been a long wait, we're finally here. Let me know what your course of action is, what you feel the winner's going to be in the comment section to the right or below on the app. As Trickster and Becky both been disqualified from the formation lap, hopefully not too much of an untoward situation. Mulan just commented in there, lol, 2018 will be better. I hope so. And it's got to be, because if it doesn't, Codemasters, I mean, yeah, obviously we're using an F1 franchise by Codemasters, but they'll lose the contract if games continue to be like this, because it's absolutely atrocious. But we are back, we are racing, and we have 36 laps of definitely no glitchiness whatsoever. Purple Haze and Slicer being disqualified from the formation lap, as is Mongdog and the Master, so hopefully nothing too untoward happened. Good evening to our 5 viewers who tuned into this race. I appreciate, obviously, your patience while we get this race underway. After multiple fixes, after multiple glitches repaired, and every other thing we've managed to get on with the session. Big shout, like I said, Adrian the 8th will be starting from the back of the grid in this race. Which is obviously a bit of a situation which is unfortunate for him, because he will be on the trek to try and get to Mike David and take points off him. It's going to be a difficult one, but the drivers are lining up on the grid. It's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4, and it's 5 lights, and they are a go! The drivers say they are. Good 1, 2, 3, 4, getting a drive-through penalty for jump starting the start. Bit of an unfortunate situation there for the Sauber, but not an unfortunate start for the top runners. It looks like a fantastic start by the looks of things from all of the top 5, not losing any position. Slicer getting a cracking start, starting P8 and starting in P6. Mike David losing a position to Ryan Wotton, and a bit of an overtake potentially on the inside for the Red Bull, having to cut it there. Owen Better Know not able, but he's able to launch a counter-attack on the Toro Rosso, take some slipstream. Ryan Wotton doing a cracking start in P3 with the yellow flags waved at the moment. Diverse Jamie, and it seems the Master have had a bit of a coming together at the back of the grid. Hopefully that won't be too much of an affected race for them. We're back at the front though, and you can see, look how close it is between all the lights. A great line of drivers here who are keeping and maintaining a situation here on board with Owen Better Know. At the moment you can see it's going to be an extremely close race by the looks of things. So overall, not a bad start for the top two, keeping their positions. Ryan Wotton getting a good start, managing to beat Mike David. in the McLaren, but he's clearly struggling a bit through the S's. Remember, Purple Haze could do Adrian 8th some favours as his teammate in Mercedes by trying to overtake Mike David and holding him back a little bit. Slicer 500 also up there as well, and a big shout out to Mondog as well, who had an unfortunate qualifying which left him with the inability to be able to conduct any kind of suitable time, and has managed to take 5 places from the start. 6 places now for Adrian the 8th, who's managed to go from the back of the grid now to 8th position, so it's looking very close. Mad Old Dad getting a 5-second stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. A big shout out to Mad Old Dad, who joined SynergyPWR the last few races of the season, and is actually the father to Adrian the 8th and Slicer 500, so definitely some family competitiveness in Division 2. We're back for the battle with P1 though, as you can see, Sphere Cookie knowing better now, still at Hammer. Still at Hammerheads, and you can see it's obviously extremely close competitiveness actually between these two. Remember, obviously both from the sister teams of Red Bull and Toro Rosso, and are extremely competitive in the qualifying. Qualifying feels like a long time ago now, but they're extremely competitive, especially in practice as well. I think it was only a 10th separating these two drivers, and showing some really, really close battle. You can see how close it's getting actually between Owen Bettineau, the Welshman, in the Red Bull. Shows a really good pace compared to Sphere Cookie, who is clearly struggling at the moment. Bear in mind, both of these cars are on super soft tyres, so there's no difference potentially in the start of their first stint, but Owen Bettineau is the person that's going to get the first purple sector before Adrian the 8th absolutely storming at the back. He's up now to the 19.9s, getting fastest lap, and is on the search now to try and overtake his brother in the Toro Rosso in the form of Slicer, apologies, Red Bull. So going to be interested to see how the rest of this battle goes on in the midfield, as Owen Bettineau has managed to make a crucial overtake on Sphere Cookie, and you can see there Owen Bettineau now up into there, and Sphere Cookie might go for a little bit of a dive up the inside into that turn there, and he loses it! There goes Sphere, oh, collision there with, I think that was Ryan Wotton. Some significant front wing damage there, and that results now with some severe consequences for the Ferrari and Toro Rosso drivers. Significant moment there in this lap 3 of the Mexican Grand Prix. It may have not kicked off until late, but it's an absolute stormer already. Let me know how you feel about these incidents. You see there, Sphere Cookie and losing. Bit of a disconnection. Bit of a disconnection situation there. Mondog, we're back in. Mondog has left the session. Sphere Cookie getting a significant moment there, and he's down to P7 with absolutely not barely any front wing at all, let's be honest. So perhaps a new front wing for him and soft tyres to the end of the race. That may not be possible. 33 laps on a set of softs. He's decided to stay out, so it's going to be interesting to see. But Owen Bettineau now takes over as Ryan Wotton is in the pits to get that wing changed. Going back though to the top, Owen Bettineau now leading this race, 2.5 seconds the difference between him and Mike David, and gaining at this moment in time. The Red Bull doing a cracking job at trying to take the gap. This is very, very good for Mike David, who's in P2 at the moment with 18 points, and Adrian the 8th currently in P4 at the moment. I wonder if there's going to be a bit of team tactics between Adrian and Purple, you know, because Adrian and Purple were significantly different in qualifying, but unfortunately with the glitch that happened with Adrian, he had to stop from the back of the grid. And unfortunate circumstances started him for the back of the grid. He may be faster than his teammate, and will he have the opportunity to try and battle with Mike David? We'll have to see what happens, but keep a firm eye on that battle. Another battle to keep an eye on as well, potentially, is the battle for P6 at the moment. Obviously, Becky Boo is the other Ferrari who didn't get any damage at all from this situation that happened earlier, but is slowly creeping up on that Toro Rosso. Sphere Cookie, who's got significant front wing damage after the collision there with Ryan Wotton, who's now at the back of the grid. Mondog at the moment still not connected and currently presenting an outlap at the moment, so clearly a bit of a connection issue for him, but the race has started, so hopefully he can reconnect back in as soon as possible. You see how close it is as we're coming through now the final turn into the long, really, really long straight of this Mexican Grand Prix, one of my favourite straights of them all, because you can just really feel the potential for an overtake. But her DRS is wide open, and she's going to be able to try and take more and more time off Sphere Cookie, and he'll be really, really disappointed with this at the moment, because he was really looking like he could potentially be battling. Wouldn't just discount Sphere Cookie just yet though, because he's actually gaining time at the moment on the Red Bull of Slicer 500, even with that significant front wing damage. So he's looking to try and maintain the pit stop strategy that he has at the moment. But he is showing some really good pace and potentially might be on an overtaking opportunity against Slicer 500. So keep a firm eye, that battle could end up happening. So I think all the battles at the moment are happening in the midfield. We'll take a look now at the tyre choices. Again, you can see the majority of the drivers starting on the selection of tyres, apart from those at the back who are now on softs. Mad Old Dad actually on a set of ultra softs, and Mundog on a set of super softs still. But he is currently disconnected from the session if I remember correctly. But at the moment, we're on lap number 6. In my experience, the super soft starts to really work around about this point. So we might just see Sphere Cookie gain on Slicer if the damage is not as negative on his time as meets the eye. You can clearly see there the time he's gaining. You can see it on board with him. It's amazing the amount of time he's gaining on the straight. He's taking the corners quite well actually. Becky Boo gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And then we're here with the helicopter shot, one of my favourite shots. This is beautiful. Comment coming in from Heatproof Ham. Greetings from London. Sorry I'm not racing with Yaz, but big support to my teammate Mike and my brother Trickster. Shame about the restarts. Yes, thank you very much, Ham. Hope you are well, buddy. Obviously, Heatproof Ham, the McLaren teammate alongside Mike David, is unable to race with us today. Currently down in London with a bunch of family members, if I remember correctly. Hope you are well. Everyone at Synergy wishing you the very best. We are following this battle at the moment. Look how close it's getting. It's separating. And you can see there the Ferrari getting even closer. Something could happen. Keep a firm eye on that one. Another battle to keep an eye on as well. Will there be a battle for P3 between Purple and Adrian? Or will there be team orders? Now, if I remember correctly, these two are not in a party together. They are not in a party together. So, yeah, there it is. That's a great example of team orders there. Purple Haze realises, no, Adrian's faster than me. I've got to let him through. And for the sake of Mercedes, both teammates let him through. And he is away to try and battle for the championship. The difference is 2.5 seconds, and he's showing amazing pace. He started from the back of the grid. He's P3. He's took advantage of people crashing around, and now he's got an opportunity to take points off my David, and he's gaining rapidly. Keep a firm eye on that battle because it's going to be a very spicy one. Lap number 7. It's going to be interesting to see. We're going to see developments all around the field, but you can see how close Adrian is actually on Mike David at the moment. Mike is losing buckets of time at the moment on Owen Better No, who's pulling nearly a 4-second gap actually on those super soft tyres. So Mike David may have to consider an alternate strategy to try and beat Owen in the pit stops, potentially a one-stop. And one-stops are possible around here. You do tend to lose quite a significant chunk of time going onto a set of softs. So it's all down to the driver's preference and what they feel might be the better scenario, but going on to a set of softs may see Mike David potentially be on the battle to win it, but then you've got to see what Adrian does as a driver as well. What could he do? The battle for P5 heating up as Sphere Cookie getting a nice run on Slicer 500 as overtake in the DRS zone is happening. You can see DRS making an absolute beauty of the overtake as Slice is coming up on the inside to try and defend from it, but I think it is well and truly done. Goods 1, 2, 3, 4 getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and we see the battle for P5 pretty much over. The super soft runners now all taking up the top 5 spots. So yeah, leave your comments down in the section below or to the side and let me know who you feel your race winner is going to be, because I can't safely say it will be Owen Better No. I wouldn't put my outright money on Owen Better No because he is losing time now. 3.5 seconds is the gap. Maybe he's pushed a little bit too far on those super soft tyres. Either way, Adrian the 8th currently on the super soft tyres, starting P14, is now P1. He's gaining and gaining. Every time he's gaining and gaining on Purple Haze. It's amazing to see what he can do from the back of the grid. He has the potential to win this, as does Mike, as does Purple Haze, and I think you can't discount Sphere Cookie either. All depends on what he does with that strategy. He might go to a one-stop as well to fix that front wing. So, not over just yet. Keep a firm eye on that one. Keep a firm eye as well on the Master in P8 at the moment. Now, he's a soft tyre runner. And if I remember correctly, actually, I don't believe he's pitted. He started on the softs. He had the ability to start on the soft tyres. He's done so. And currently, we'll be taking, if people were to say pit now, for whatever reason, P7, P6, more than likely P5, and potentially P4. So he could do a one-stop. So keep a firm eye on the Master, because he could be someone to look out for in this race, because he could be in for a good points finish today. Maybe just on a good strategy with the rest of the field. That battle for P5 is not over. It's got to 1, 2, 3, 4, another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, but you can see how close it is right there for the Red Bull of Slicer 500. Trying to get traction off the line on those ultra soft tyres. It might just be those ultras are starting to wear a bit thin, but DRS is going to be wide open. I have a sneaking suspicion I think Sphere Cookie is going to be able to pull out a bit of a gap, which is going to leave Slicer 500 without the opportunity to overtake at this particular corner. But he might have the opportunity on the next DRS straight if he gets a good selection of corners here. That's a bit wide. It's going to leave him a bit thin, but Sphere Cookie went extremely wide as well. DRS wide open again for the second time. We'll have to see if he's going to be able to get any closer. Keep a firm eye in the background as well. Becky Boo could be in this fight in a bit as well, so keep it here at SynergyPWR on the Twitch stream. Thank you to all our 7 viewers tuning into this fantastic so far Mexican race, considering we've had to wait so long for it, and I think it was been well worth the wait. Don't know what you think, let me know in the comments. Lap number 10. Keep a firm eye on the comments section, obviously. We're hoping for messages coming in. Like I said, obviously, Lucas, I swear to God, if Codemasters don't fix these glitches for the next game, someone should lose their job. Well, safe to say, Lucas, if the, well, don't do a safe job right now, they could end up losing the contract, never mind losing a job. It'd be awful for Codemasters, because it's a significant chunk of their funding. The gap has closed to less than a second for this battle for P2, and Mike David is looking to try and maintain his lead in the championship, but he has said quite outright, Mexico is one of my weak tracks, I'm not very good round here, Jota. That's fair enough, Mike, you've got to try and battle now with this, your nearest rival. The gap is 18 points here, and a second place, Adrian would take 18 points, and if Mike was to some reason end up losing all of these points that he could potentially take, the gap would be 0. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, but very wide through those S's Mike was going. He's been struggling pretty much all through the practice, actually, with those S's. He's really happy when he ends up nailing them. But you can see there, look how close it is here. The DRS is going to be really useful for him, and I think unless he gets it really bad final turn, which he doesn't, Adrian the 8th is going to be able to make an overtake, or might get some really good traction, though. I'll have to see what happens, but we're on the helicopter shot. DRS is going to be wide open right now for Adrian. Will there be an overtake potentially? Let's see what happens. Mike goes over to the inside line. You've got to have the Mercedes potentially popping over. We'll have to see. And he comes up to the inside line. No, decides not for the overtake just yet. I'm going to play my cards right, play patient. There's another DRS straight to use as well. Got to bear in mind, through this corner. Great exit there from Adrian using four-wheel drifting to keep behind Mike David. You can clearly see there the gaining and gaining and gaining. But then again, no chance for an overtake just yet. We'll have to wait another lap to see these two overtake, but good defending so far from Mike David. Adrian the 8th currently in P3, only half a second separating him from P2. And the battle happening as well for Goods, 1, 2, 3 and Ryan. Massive overtake potential opportunity here with Becky Boo on Supersoft after pitting. A great battle between the Ferraris and the Ferrari powered Sauber, and there we have a great selection of drivers battling out for the bottom and the scraps of the final points in this race. Becky Boo has now pitted though. If I remember correctly, Goods has not pitted yet and has been on those ultra softs now for well over their expiry date. So no doubt the Ferrari are going to be able to come up with an overtake very soon. We'll see. It's going to potentially go for an overtake. No, deciding not just yet. You can clearly see that battle for P9 is becoming a bit of a strong one at the moment. So we'll keep a firm eye on that one as Becky's gone a bit wide and is going to be losing buckets of time in doing that. Got back to that battle at the moment for P2 as Adrian the 8th is coming up on the inside and deciding on the outside actually. So he's wanting to take as much traction as possible. As Adrian hooks in, click in, and then floor it down, and there you can see Mike David taking a lot of traction, so clearly he's running with a hefty wing at the back, and he's able to get that traction out, so there's no really any opportunity for Adrian to get Mike on the second DRS straights. It's all going to be about that first DRS straight on the finish line. That's going to be a cracking battle to watch. As Goods 1, 2, 3, 4 is now in his pit to swap out those really worn ultra softs, potentially softs to the end of the race for him. So we'll have to see what happens. Nope, it's another set of ultra softs. So he's going to be doing 2 ultra soft runs, and then it will be to the end on a set of super softs. So interesting. It will be a 2-stop for the Sauber. Lap number 14 as Owen Bettino has crossed the starting line, and Mike David is losing time on Owen Bettino to the time of now 6 seconds separating, so it's going to be interesting to see. But Adrian's now out of DRS range, so clearly something must have happened, but he is now well out of DRS range as Ryan Woodson gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Going to be interesting to see what happens, so keep a firm eye on that battle, because I'm not too sure how this is going to work. This may be a battle of the pits and what both drivers decide to do. I know Mike is very keen on doing a 1-stop around here, and I'm fairly certain a 1-stop around here will leave you 15 to 20 seconds down over a 2-stop. So if he attempts the 1-stop, Mike might end up losing P3, P4, and if Master does really well with his 1-stop strategy, starting on the softs rather, he could end up overtaking Mike as well. So, which obviously would be a massive detrimental effect to the battle in the championship. So keep a firm eye, like I said, on that battle and what both drivers decide to do, as Slicer 500 is now at the rear end of the Master. An overtake coming in from Becky Boo and Sphere Cookie. Sphere Cookie's obviously had his front wing replaced, and he is away on a set of ultra softs, so he's doing the 2-stop. That's that battle for P5 though at the moment. Remember, Master has not pitted yet. Slicer, as you see on the screen, has though. Adrian the 8th has decided to come into the pits. No surprise there, he's going to try something new. He's onto a set of softs, he's doing a 1-stop. So, with a new front wing change as well, so that must have been the situation, but he is onto a set of softs to the end of the race. That is 21 laps on a set of softs, which is possible. Then again, could be very difficult to manage. He's not going to be beating the Masters out of the pits, I think. Oh no, will he? There he is. Ooh, I think we're going to have a bit of a problem here for Adrian the 8th, who's now behind. No disrespect now to Slicer and the Master who are battling, but a bit of traffic. Slicer obviously on a set of super softs now, so he's looking to try and take up the advantage. The Slicer 500, make an absolutely fantastic call to go onto those super soft tyres, has now left him in a position to potentially try and close the gap on Purple Haze. If he can reduce the gap to under around 25 seconds, which as you see there, when Purple Haze pits, Slicer will be up to 3rd. That's amazing stuff. I think Slicer's made a really good call onto those super softs. Cracking work. As Adrian the 8th on the set of softs under Master was on 15 lap old softs. It's going to be an interesting battle to see what happens. So keep an eye on that as Adrian gets a 3-second time penalty for that corner, because it takes off the camera pretty much on that corner. Fan making a comment, reckon that Sphere Cookie will be on it to the latter stages, which I must admit I agree. I think he could be. He's on a 2-stop, so he'll be on super softs in about 9 or so laps time, I think. So keep a firm eye on that, because I think that could be a really good battle. But I'm very keen on how Adrian is going to be able to manage this now, because he started piece 14. He's now presently in P6 and might be struggling a little bit. His yellow flags are waved in Sector 3. Hopefully not too much of a detrimental effect at the moment for him. can see there he's closing and closing. Every time he's closing and closing and closing, and it just might work for him soon. Not too sure what Master's running as regards of his setup, so he might be able to get better traction than Adrian. And you can clearly see there, yes, he's got potentially an opportunity to overtake. He's going to dive up onto the inside. Is he going to go for the overtake? No, not just yet. A nice helicopter shot that I adore around this track. Just potentially an opportunity to get up there, but he's going to have to find the gap. And you can clearly see there, just no, not just yet. Ooh, Master's internet lagging just a little bit. Hopefully that won't be too much of an issue as yellow flags are waved in sector 2 as Mike David gets a 5-second stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane, as Mad Old Dad has decided to retire from the session after spinning out, so he is out of the session. So Owen Bettineau will then retake first place with Mike David now on this set of Ultra Softs, but he has got another 5 seconds to add on top for his next pit stop. So this could be absolutely crucial, because Purple Haze is only 9 seconds and reducing each time. With that 5-second penalty, it could just be detrimental to Mike David. That is big. Let me know how you feel about that in the comments, both on the right and below. As Adrian the 8th has managed to get an overtake on the Master, and that is that. As Adrian's P5, next up is Slicer, but he is on a fresh set of super soft tyres and has managed to outrun Adrian, but unfortunately not managed to outrun Purple Haze, who remains just 2 seconds behind. But remember, Slicer's on a 2-stop, but on super soft, so how quickly is he going to be able to overtake Purple Haze and then try and maintain and take a gap of around 25 seconds? Remember, Mike David is 10.2 seconds behind Owen Bettineau. So Owen is in a really good position. I think the Red Bull driver is in a really good position to win this. But we look back now, and Owen Bettineau obviously currently at the top, and actually sets the fastest lap of a 118.6. He could walk away with this race, which is magnificent, don't get me wrong. Shows obviously some great ability from the Red Bull driver, but it does mean 25 points are not going to be in the hands of the current league leaders. The question is, who's going to better who? Let me know what you think in the comments. Has Adrian lost a part of his front wing? Well, he must have done, because he went into the pits, didn't he? So, yeah, clearly, obviously, it was a bit of a situation. Perhaps a little bit of tap with Mike David or something. Not too sure. As moment, Sphere Cookie managed to overtake the Master now. So, Master clearly now losing time on those softs. So he's wanted to take them to the super soft, maybe even ultra soft range. You can see there the visible degradation on the right hand side. You can see now it's probably going to be touching around 50%, those tyres. The question is, how far is he willing to take them before he loses too many places? Slicer getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Very interesting to see how this develops. We're halfway through the race, lap 18 of 36, and we are seeing some very interesting calls at the moment. Adrian, Purple, Master, Ryan, Trigster, Jamie, all on softs. The only difference is Master hasn't pitted yet, so we're expecting all the soft runners to go to the end. The super softs will be going on to a set of ultra softs probably, and the sets of ultra softs will be going on to a set of super softs. So we're expecting at some point Owen Bettineau to come into the pits and go into a set of super softs, as is Mike, but Purple Haze is not expected to pit, and the current gap at the moment is 17 seconds for P1, and if Owen starts to struggle on those ultra softs within an 8-second range, he could end up losing the lead to Purple Haze and could end up having to battle with Slicer 500 and Adrian the 8th. And you can clearly see Adrian is gaining buckets of time on those softs at the moment. He's doing an absolutely cracking job at the moment. Only problem is, there's a guy right behind him. It's Sphere Cookie. The massive collision resulted in him having to pit a lot earlier. He's on a set of ultra softs and is on a vengeance. He had a situation in the USA which forced him to lose points, and he does not want to happen. Hey, I'll start again. He does not want it to happen again. Going to be interested to see how everything goes. Okay, reports coming in. I reckon that he got damage from Masters. That would be Adrian for the situation, as Becky Boo gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But you can see there the ultra softs are really working Sphere Cookie now. You can see how much grip he's getting through the S's compared to Adrian, picking up all that dust but going wide himself as well, probably through dirty air. You can clearly see coming up now up onto the stadium section, locking up those fronts, and then coming in and taking potentially a very good opportunity of DRS, and will have tons of traction with those ultra soft tyres. Keep a firm eye as he takes the final turn. How much traction is Adrian going to have? How much is Cookie going to have? And you can see the comparisons. Say we're not even in the DRS range, and look at the time. He's gaining, and DRS wide open. Is there an overtake on the cards? Keep a firm eye on this one as the Master comes into the pits. But we keep on this battle for P5 as Sphere Cookie's coming up on the inside. Will an overtake happen? We will see. Following Adrian, he's trying to battle at the moment, but I think that may just be the end of that, and Adrian is down to P6, but he is able to go to the end of the race. Cookie isn't. How long is it going to be before those ultra softs really wear out? David getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. We're going to take a quick look though at the leader intervals at the moment. Obviously we have an interval allows us to see who's behind where, but at the moment Purple Haze is actually in a very good position, because we know that the pit lane here is about 25 seconds. So at the moment she has a 19-second deficit on Invitational, and if I remember correctly, at the moment, these ultra softs will only last, correct me if I'm wrong, viewers, 8-9 laps. I'm pretty sure Owen's been on those now for about 5 laps, and he only has a 19-second deficit on P3. Mike David and Owen Bettino still have to pit. Purple might not need to. The gap may be about 6 seconds. If Purple Haze can keep, as she's about to overtake a lap car in the form of Mondong, if she is able to keep the rest of the cars behind, it gives Adrian an opportunity on those softs to close up the gap, as Slicer and Sphere Cookie also still have to pit. It's a matter of time. These ultra soft runners have really got to start pushing if they want to keep their positions. Mike David may just be in a bit of spot of bother on those ultra soft tyres. We're on lap 21 of 36. Let me know what your opinions are on the strategy. No team orders at Ferrari, which, yeah, a little bit controversial, because usually we'd see a Fernando is faster than you comment, but Becky Boo is faster than you, Ryan Wootton. And at the moment, Becky Boo is looking, who's on a set of super soft, not ultra softs, super soft tyres, and is looking significantly quicker than Ryan Wootton on those soft tyres. And as you can see, the amount of understeer that she's got in that setup is really struggling around those set of S's, and she's lost buckets of time on her teammate. Not too sure if that's a setup, if that's a damage, or even worse, could just be really genuinely some horrible amounts of dirty air. So we'll have to see what happens. Mongdog coming in, we've just heard a comment come through. Unfortunately, he had lag issues and he disconnected from the session, so he finishes with a DNF. Very unfortunate for the Williams driver. Battle for P4 now brewing, as Slicer 500 is going to be swept up by the ultra soft runner, that is Sphere Cookie. But those ultra softs won't last too long, so we'll have to see how far he can take these ultra softs before they become a little bit impossible. Looking up, doing a good job to take traction. By the battle as they come through the set of S's right now. Dropping down to 5th gear. The dirty air on that Red Bull is horrible, as Becky Boo gets another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Bit of a lock-up as they come into the stadium section, but you can clearly see right now the battle is starting to brew and there will be DRS. The question is, will the Toro Rosso have the pace to be able to overtake that sister car, Slicer 500, the Red Bull? Coming through the final corner as they start lap number 23, and the DRS will be open right now. DRS open. Let's see, he's gaining. Here's an overtake on the cars. You can see there, comes up onto the inside and locking up those tyres, and no chance of an overtake just yet. We go back on board as it comes through to the second DRS straight. Will the traction be available for Slicer 500? The answer is no, I don't think there is. And I think another overtake is on the cards, and another attack comes up onto the inside, goes in, locks those tyres, but Slicer 500 leaves him the space, and that is the end of that battle and locks up, and I think that might just be some front wing damage on the front of Sphere Cookie, you know. I see it, and I think that might be just the end of Sphere Cookie's race. I know there's Ultra Softs can last another few laps, but you can see there the front left wing damage. I think we're going to start to see Adrian come back into his own. Really unfortunate for Sphere Cookie, who now has front wing damage. Question is, will he pit? I presume not. He'll want to take these Ultra Softs as far as they can go. He's still managed to keep a gap on, and he will have DRS on Slicer 500, so there is an opportunity potentially to overtake. He's a lot closer than he was on the previous lap. Question is, will he be able to go for the overtake? We'll see, but he's going to go onto the inside line. Another chance for an overtake here. As you see in the background, Adrian the 8th will be watching this as they collide going through into turn 1. And I'm not too sure if that might be some front wing damage for Slicer. I don't think there was, but Sphere Cookie makes the move stick, and that is the end of that battle. Slicer 500 recording news, and you can clearly see there that was definitely some collision between the brother and sister car, Toro Rosso and Red Bull, as Adrian is going up for a bit of an overtake as well, hogging up the inside line, coming through onto the little hairpin at the end of this, but Adrian squeezed him off, and that is it. Adrian the 8th has now took Slicer, and Slicer is down into P6. The brothers are battling. Continue with this battle for P5 at the moment, and just keep a firm eye on the battle. And now it is 21 seconds the difference between Purple Haze and Owen Better No. So Owen Better No can't really confirm that he's definitely won this race just yet. Purple Haze doing a cracking job at the moment actually to maintain a 10-second gap, considering her choice of tyre compared to Sphere Cookie's on Ultra Softs. But remember, Ultra Soft tyres are really good if you don't have front wing damage, which unfortunately Sphere Cookie does. And Adrian the 8th at the moment might be able to gain time, and he's well within DRS range to go for it as well. So potential opportunities all around the board here. So keep a firm eye on this one, because we could end up seeing the soft runner and the Ultra Softs end up battling quite well. The worst possible scenario for Adrian 8th and his battle for the championship now is to take any more front wing damage. You can see on the front left he is losing some end plates. He's got something like light green damage, but at the moment he is also with wing damage and wants to go to the end of this race. The worst thing that could happen is for him to have significant front wing damage, so keep a firm eye, because Adrian the 8th could be on for some really, really good points here. We go back to the leader intervals at the moment. You can see there the gap between Purple Haze and Owen Better now is 22 seconds. In my experience, this goes wide there a little bit, Adrian. My experience, super soft tyres will last around about 15 laps. 12 laps, and usually they're pretty good, and then after that they start to wear thin. So it's well within the super soft range now to give it a go. The question is, are those Ultra Softs feeling any good already? Sphere Cookie has had enough and he's in the pits. He's onto a set of Super Softs until the end of this race. Adrian the 8th will eat up 4th. The gap between him and Purple Haze is 11 seconds. So without a shadow of a doubt, Owen Better No and Mike David will be in front of Adrian the 8th. Gives Adrian an opportunity now in clean air to just race as quick as he can, and Specky who gets a 5 seconds stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And now you're seeing the Ultra Soft runners now come into the pits, going to a set of Super Soft tyres. Ryan Wootton now eating up those positions, and the Master potentially eating up these positions as well. Bear in mind, he's obviously on a set of Super Softs till the end of this race. Sphere Cookie onto another set of Ultra Softs. They could probably go to the end of the race as well. Usually I go Super Softs because I think that's the safest option. But he's on another set of Ultra Softs to the end of this race. So it's going to be interesting to see how this develops over time. But yeah, you'll notice, like I said, I've kept it on at the moment. As you see there, Purple Haze is on soft tyres. She is going to the end of this race. And Owen Better No is on a set of super soft tyres. And Purple Haze is now coming through onto the main straight. She really needed a good lap. Is she going to be able to outbeat Owen Better No? We'll have to see. But Owen Better No is there. Purple Haze has just missed. I feel she may have just missed the opportunity to take Owen Better No's position. And Owen Better No has just played an absolute blinder and is now going to be full steam ahead on to the end of this race. Well done, the Red Bull driver. Going back though to Adrian the 8th. Adrian the 8th on soft tyres to the end of this race has a 17.5 second gap at the moment off the leader, Mike David does. But in the interval, the difference is 5, and Mike is on a set of ultra softs until the end of this race. Adrian is on a set of softs, and he's got to take these 9 laps. The ultra softs will last around about 9 to 10 laps, so Mike is going to be closing that gap significantly if he's fast enough. The gap is 10 seconds between Purple Haze and Adrian. Adrian is probably not going to be able to quicken up on Purple Haze, and Purple Haze is losing buckets of time on Owen Better-No. I said it'd be about 25 seconds, the gap was about 24, and Owen Better-No managed to beat Purple Haze by about a second. She needed to try and use up the ability of the low wear rate of these softs, and she may have just missed out on just 1 second. What a shame. Battle happening for P6 at the moment as Sphere Cookie is battling with Slicer as Ryan Wotton gets a time penalty for multiple warnings. You can clearly see there Sphere Cookie is struggling on those new ultra soft tyres. Has he got front wing damage? No, he doesn't. So clearly at the moment there's a significant difference. Heatproof Hand commenting in the stream with a very good point of if Trickster picks up the pace, you might be able to benefit from other drivers who have got penalties, which is very true, because Becky Boo has got definitely at least 6 seconds worth of penalties. I know Slicer has 1 or 2, I know Sphere Cookie has a couple, so it could be an opportunity for Trickster to pick up points just on penalties alone. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens if he picks up the pace, and it'll be a good selection of points for the unofficial Constructors' Championship as well. So yeah, definitely interesting to keep an eye out on that one, as Sphere Cookie battling at the moment with the Ferrari of Ryan Wotton. Ryan Wotton on the set of super softs till the end of this race, so it's going to be a very close battle. But I think an even closer battle will be the battle for P3 at the moment between Mike David and Adrian the 8th. Now remember, these are competing for World Championship points, and those softs, I have my sneaky suspicion, probably won't be any better at any point in this race, so he has to maximise the ability of his driving. Dedicated driver Mike David has got fastest lap of this race and will try an overtake on the inside of the very little gap that Adrian's given, but he's seen it. Question is, will Adrian be able to keep onto the outside line? Ooh, you can see there he's losing it a bit, and yeah, that was a real big mistake that, and Mike David takes P3 straight off Adrian. Yoink, that is mine. Mike David will extend his lead in the championship if he can maintain the health of those ultra soft tyres. What a shame. The battle happening at the moment, Sphere Cookie locking up those tyres going into turn 1 at the moment, as Ryan Wotton is still battling with him at the moment, and I think possibly a little bit of an over and under, but decides not to do so. DRS wide open obviously for Sphere Cookie, which means he pulls away, and I think the battle for P5 may just be over as well. It's Sphere Cookie as Ryan goes up on the inside looking for an overtake, and I think that might just be damage for Sphere Cookie. No, maybe not, but definitely getting involved there with Slicer 500. Was that a potential unsportsmanlike move? Let me know what you think, and I'll be sure to let the drivers think about it themselves, because that might just be a bit of a naughty move. We're down until lap 30, 6 laps to go. Cracking battling at the moment for P5 at the moment, with Sphere Cookie, Ryan Wotton and Slicer all battling for that top step position. You can clearly see at the moment they are wanting this. They are wanting to be able to battle and take a great selection of points in this championship. DRS wide open. Probably for the 2 cars as Goods 1, 2, 3, 4 gets another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. He is on a set of softs to the end, as is Adrian the 8th, who is currently losing hemorrhaging time at the moment on Mike David. I did say it is around about a 15, 20, maybe 25 second loss on a one-stop, and Adrian's one-stop strategy may not have worked. What it may have worked for, though, is Purple Haze. How quickly is she going to be able to keep going on those softs and hold back Mike David? 5 laps to go, following the Sphere Cookie Ryan Wootton Slicer 500 battle. Let me know if you're driver of the day as well. Just leave it in the message board, leave it in the comments, and just let me know who you feel your driver of the day is. And put my money personally on Adrian the 8th, going from P14 to P4, and then able to maintain a great lead over, let's be honest, one of the fastest drivers on this track in the form of Sphere Cookie. I think is a great achievement. So 3-second time penalty for the guys, Sphere Cookie, for multiple warnings. Let's put my money on Adrian the 8th, but let me know in the comments who you feel your driver of the day is. Like I said, leave it in, and leave it with the hashtag PWR2MEX. And we start to see another glitch, and it's a very nice glitch in the form of the red line glitch, which is very nice. This game is terrible. Lap 31 of 36, and Sphere Cookie's got the red line glitch as Ryan Wootton gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, which won't help the scenario as he is trying to battle with red liner Sphere Cookie. You can clearly see how close it is though between him and Slicer 500, who's looking for a battle. Remember, Slicer's on the ultra soft tyres. So it's going to be interesting development here in the midfield. There, with DRS wide open, Slicer begins his battle as another 3-second time penalty for Goods 1, 2, 3, 4. Car number 12 with now what I think maybe 12 seconds worth of penalties, so he may end up losing P12 if Diverse Jamie is able to take up all that time on those ultra soft tyres. So it's not all clear cut for P11 at the moment. Much like how it isn't all clear cut at the moment for P number 6, as Ryan Wootton and Slicer 500 are still battling for that position. Remember, obviously, Slicer 500 at the moment, obviously, on the ultra soft tyres, so they are fresher, they are newer, and they are significantly faster. Proof I'm commenting, I have to agree with Adrian for driver of the day. Yeah, I 100% agree. I think he's got some great qualities to be able to be the driver of the day. You know, starting so low down, doing a one-stop, trying his hardest. It didn't really 100% pay off, but regardless, P4 from P14 is not a bad finish. It's fantastic. Especially with his Xbox also deciding to almost blow up on him as well, so interesting stuff. Sean Gregory, 1992, how are you doing, buddy? With the Renault driver for the GP1 race, Division 1 battle happening tomorrow at the same track. It's like Hamilton on Alonso. Great battle. Yeah, it is. It's fantastic battling all around, and I think it's definitely some great potential overtaking opportunities as well. You can see how much time he's gaining with that DRS wide open. Problem is that I'm not sure whether Slicer's just losing it all in Division 2, but Ryan's going really wide on those super softs, and he may have just lost buckets of time through there, and there we go, there it is, and I think we might have potentially an overtaking opportunity right here. Keep a firm eye on this, because the Red Bull is probably going to come up onto the inside line and try a bit of an overtake potentially. Oh no, maybe not just yet, but he might be able to have another opportunity. He has 3 laps to try and find it. There's 2.1 seconds separating the McLaren of Mike David and the Mercedes of Purple Haze. Now remember, Purple's on the 1 stop, Mike David is on the 2, and may just be a little bit faster than those soft tyres then. But the question is it too late? Is it Purple Haze's 2nd, or is it Mike David's 3rd? I don't know, we'll have to find out, but we'll keep going back now to the Slicer battles. Ryan goes very wide through the stadium section. Sean Gregory making a comment, I've got that feeling Mike David will take that 2nd off Purple. I have my sneaking suspicion I don't think he will. I think he'll end up missing out, and I think it'll only be by tenths. I don't think it'll be definitely under a 2nd, in my opinion. But there's an even closer battle happening, like I said, in the midfield for P7 and P6 at the moment, with Ryan Wootton and Slicer 500 still going at it, hammer and tong, to try and see who's going to take this. He's got 2 laps to try and find it. And remember, these ultra softs last a lot less time, so the question is, you know, will he be able to get close enough with the amount of grip that he'll have, bearing in mind that he's losing grip every time gorgeous helmet as well. That's Slicer 500 has. He's trying to find time and find as much sort of grip as possible. Not be able to find enough grip or time, or for that matter speed, even with the toe. So it's an interesting one. The battle's still happening as Mike David gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Cutting a corner to try and take an advantage has really cost him. We've got 2 laps to try and find it, and Purple Haze and him are battling. Purple Haze deciding to defend off the inside line. Will there be an overtake at the end of the first turn? Bearing in mind, Mike David, I'm pretty sure, has got more penalties than Purple Haze. So all Purple Haze needs to do is keep him back, as there's definitely some front wing damage there. And you see there, definitely a collision between the... Cracking time for my controller to die right there. We're back in action, but you see there, definitely a collision between the McLaren and Purple Haze. Definitely some front wing damage for Mike David. That might just cost him second place, and it's also going to cost him time on Adrian the 8th. The question is there going to be enough penalties on Mike David's part to keep him in P3? There's a 16-second gap, so possibly, but you can see that massive understeer as they're going through the set of S's, and I think that's Purple Haze's P2 now with that front wing damage, so it's going to be interesting to see what will happen. Yeah, a bit of a discussion happening between ITFNI Mulan at Mercedes Division 1 and Sean Gregory of the Renault of Division 1, discussing whether they think Mike David has the opportunity, as Ryan Wootton gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, to overtake Purple Haze. Well, like I said here, even with that massive understeer and the loss of time, he has DRS, he's got far better traction, and there again, Purple Haze can't defend off that. It's the end of that conversation. There is 1 lap left, and I'm pretty sure Mike David has got more penalties than Purple Haze, and it will cost him P2. The question is he going to be able to pull enough of a gap? And remember, he has got front wing damage as well. So that battle, even with Mike David overtaking, it ain't over. It really, really isn't over. Another battle happening as well for P number 8. Masters 220.025 and Becky Boo 1999 battling it out. Becky Boo on Ultra Softs. The Master on Super Softs. And anyway, Master's also been on a one-stop. Considering his one-stop strategy, he started P10 if I remember correctly, or P11, and he's finishing P8, so it's actually a really, really good result, regardless for the Master. So I think he'll be very happy with that. Becky Boo now coming up to overtake the Master. We'll see what happens. You can clearly see there, grip, and there's definitely a bit of a touch there, but Owen Bettino has just crossed the line to win the race for Red Bull. Cracking job from Owen Bettino, really good job. And right here comes Mike David and Purple Haze to take P2 and P3. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, but I'm pretty sure Mike has got more penalties, and that is the case. Purple Haze takes P2 and Mike David finishes P3. Here comes Adrian the 8th, a cracking result from him to start P14. He's finishing P4 on a set of fairly worn softs. He'll be happy with that result. He finishes P4, but the gap between him and Mike David is extended. Great result from Sphere Cookie as well. Start pole position, and after multiple collisions, P5 he'll be very happy with. P6 to Ryan Wootton as well. Cracking job from him. And then we've got the battle still happening for P8 all the way to the line. The Master and Becky Boo going to cross the finishing line, P8 and P9. Not too sure on their penalties. I know Becky Boo has quite a few hefty penalties, so unless Master's done significantly worse, I think this may be Master's P8. But yeah, there it is. That's the end of that. And then Trickster comes across the line to take P9 as Becky Boo's penalties reduce her to P10. We'll be back shortly with the interviews, but we're going to go to the podium. Yeah, it's a great result all around. Owen Bettino doing a cracking job to take P1. P2 going to none other than Miss Purple Haze, doing a cracking job to take that. And P3 going to Mike David, but it's a great result from Owen. As they squirt the champagne, we will take a look at the timing screen just to confirm the classified results of this round 18. of the SynergyPWR People's World Racing Invitational event at Mexico. And as you see, it's Owen Better No, the race winner, followed by Purple Haze and Mike David getting 11 seconds worth of penalties, resulting in a net finish of P3. Adrian finishes P4 with Sphere Cookie in P5. Slicer will be very happy with P6 after starting P8. However, Ryan will be disappointed getting P7 after starting P4. Master will be very happy to getting P8, matching his total best finish here in SynergyPWR with a great selection of 4 points. Trickster doing a good job to get P9, followed by Becky Boo with the final point in P10. Goods, Davis Jamie and the Williams of Mongdog will be very disappointed to not getting the points. Meanwhile, right at the back you can clearly say that the old man dad, or the father to the other two, they don't manage to get there. We'll be back very shortly with the post-race interviews. Stay tuned. Hello there guys, well done. Congratulations for your great results all around the board. Don't forget to hit the check mark when I activate the party. So, there we go. I've just put your party on the broadcast, so feel free to just click on the checkbox. So, I just want to actually start this off with Adrian the 8th. So, you started P14 after qualifying P4, and ends up finishing P4 in the end, and I must say, not a bad result all around. Assuming you've hit the checkbox in the party, how do you feel about
that? Yeah, really good actually. I was pleased. I actually had two separate incidents, both my fault. I went into the back of Mike once. Lost a piece of wing, and went into the back after the pit into Masters. It was. I got frustrated. I was stuck behind him for 2 laps. Yeah, no, definitely my fault. I didn't record hyperclick, but I'm sure they did.
Overall, though, to be fair, not a bad result to take P14, and after all your Xbox essentially blowing up. But overall, yeah, a great result all around from you to get P4, and the majority of people in the comments, you are driver of the day, so worth a little something on that one. My David, so it is P3 for you. Good battling all around with Purple Haze in the Mercedes, but all in all, the penalties put you down in P3. How do you feel with that?
It was a great race, like all the way through. I don't think Adrian's incident with me was entirely his fault, because there's a stadium section, right? That's the one you're on about.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
You went down the inside. I honestly wasn't expecting, because I was expecting you to just hang behind me until the straight, because like this
I wasn't expecting it.
Right, that's it.
Yeah.
I thought I'd fucked up and squeezed you, so...
No, not at all.
It's just one of those things.
But
it's a good race to do as well.
It was a great result all around the field, and I think I think it was genuinely amazing all around the field. I think there's some great racing. Purple Haze unfortunately not with us for this interview, so we can't speak to the P2, but we can talk to the race winner, which was none other than Owen Better No. Congratulations, Owen. You did a fantastic result and pretty much controlled the field from the get-go. Yeah, how do you feel? Talk me through the win.
Well, I thought it was a good race. Started second on the grid, had a good battle with Svi at the start of the race. And as races go, it's probably one of the most quiet ones I've had. So I'm just happy with it, my first win for Synergy.
No, yeah, fantastic win. Obviously, that puts SynergyPWR specifically in Division 2 now to 4 different race winners. And overall, in the entirety of SynergyPWR, we're now, if my maths is done correctly, up to 3, 4, 5, 6. We're now up to our 11th race winner in total, which is not bad considering we've done 17 races in a row. So, you know, I think we've got some great diversity within the league, and I think obviously it shows that you know, that we have people of all skill level, and especially Owen, you pretty much, you know, talking to skill level, you pretty much walked this race. I think you finished, what was it, something like 12 seconds in front of P2?
I think it was 20 after the penalties.
20 after the penalties, so presumably Mexico, one of your stronger tracks?
I'm not normally that confident on this track, but I'm actually pretty quick looking back on it. But
well, that's the thing. End of
it's not
the day,
one of
you
my
know,
favourites.
well, the thing is, Mexico's not one of my favourites either. And then I think my experience, I've shown some quite pace at certain tracks that I don't like. I hate Malaysia, but suddenly I managed to get P2 in my other league race the other day. It was a bit of a weird one. So, you know, all around, it was a great result from everyone. I think, I mean, even down the field as well. The Master managing to, if I remember correctly, has managed to equal pretty much his best race result in Division 2, which is a great result for him. It's a shame we missed. Shame and a few other drivers that we missed. I think Mini Carrot 22 would have been a nice sort of implementation within there. So obviously we'll hope to see them next week, as we hope to see your guys, the viewers, next week. We are at none other than Brazil. Fantastic selection all around the field. Thank you very much to all the drivers in this little questionnaire pod, and we will see you all guys next week for the Division 2 race at Brazil, and we'll see you tomorrow for the Division 1 race here at Mexico. Bye bye for now.